Boom. We are live. We are live. Just getting a couple of things adjusted, but at the same time, it's been a mess. But we are live. Give me a minute. Hey. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and to the mothers too that take care of the children as well. You need that balance between the two. So happy Father's Day to the fathers and happy to the mothers too. All of y'all. I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute. We got things cooking over here. I wanted to go live tonight just to touch base, reconnect, say hello. All haven't unsubscribed. That's good because I'm still here. Like I said, Kenneka Johnson. Well, thank you. Cynthia Sin, Boss Blake. Happy Father's Day to you. Forensic Tech Guy. Happy Father's Day to you. Stars Cruz. My lady Star Cruz from New York. Uh-oh, she up in the house. Content creator. Star Cruz. I fell in love with you the day you followed this case. I certainly did. And you brought some great information from your perspective to the case as best as you did. And what hurt me most is that content creators can be stupid to attack other content creators working on the same case. So it tells me a little bit about the intelligence that sometimes shows up on YouTube to attack other content creators, giving you their perspective. And Star Cruz, Wanda, I think her name is, much love to you. Much love to you for going through what you did with another content creator. Oh my God. And you're still there. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support too. Thank you so much. Boss Blake, another content creator, is in the house. Brother Boss has been working on, both music and, what's been going on. The Ahmaud Arbery case, he's broken. Thank you, brother, for breaking that open and giving us, your input on it, like you always have. And, much love to you and your family. So, yes, I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Lady Tia, T-shirt and design. Thank you for moderating tonight's live. Much love to you and your family. I wanted to come on here, say hello. I ain't gone. I'm not. Maybe in the bushes, but I'm not gone. Not gone. I just got finished a barbecue. Oh my God. For Father's Day, I got such a wonderful reception and present from my daughters who surprised me, led me someplace, how women do. We're going to take him someplace and, we're going to surprise him. So that's exactly what they did. Much love to them. They're probably be in the chat room too. Yeah, absolutely. Chi-Town Fit Queen, hello love. How you doing? Wisdom Princess, Kanisha 007, Camilla Valenziano, Watch out, squad. My brother, how are you? Another content creator working on the case. Definitely. Watch out, squad is in the house. Boss Blake is in the house. Star Cruz is in the house. Definitely. 9MM. How you doing, love? Excuse me, 9MM. How you doing? So, Dirty Glove, what's up? Ran 70. How you doing? Yeah, the house is going to slowly get full only because John Q is live. I know you haven't heard from me in a bit. I've been very busy. We still have this COVID going on in New York, along with a lot of stories coming out of the COVID, that you've all heard about. Definitely. And I wanted to pop on as best as I could tonight to say hello. I tried to go live a couple of times, but my service provider was doing some weird stuff. I meant to go live last week 2 times, and it just did not happen. So hopefully y'all hear me. Jada Lyons, how you doing? Good to see everybody out here tonight. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope everyone's Father's Day was good and Mother's Day too. I don't like the way they separate Mother's Day 1 month and Father's Day another month. They're together if they're together. You know what I mean? I see things together, just like we are. So, absolutely. Good to see you too. I wanted to jump on here tonight and kind of like touch base with everyone in regards to what I've been working on. And obviously, it has been the Kenneka Jenkins case. I've been behind the scenes. I've been in other people's channels, reading other people's comments, studying other people's content, contacting content creators at the same time. I was supposed to have a couple of content creators tonight. Unfortunately, with Father's Day, which I totally forgot, things, changed abruptly. So I said, well, guess what? I'm going live anyway, because it's been a while. I know it's been a minute, Boss Blake. It's been a minute. But much love to all of you that have missed John Q. In this case, I've been trying to get some updates for you, as I usually do. And tonight, what I want to do is something special, something different. You know, I've been calling out content creators since I started doing lives. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. So, what I'm going to attempt to do tonight, and I have at least Lady Tia, excuse me, uh, T-shirts design as my moderator. Please pay careful attention to the chat room, because tonight I think we're going to just swing into trying to bring up some content creators. If you are, I want to get your input on where we are right now with the case. It's almost been 3 years with the case. There are some people out there that think we're over 3 years and we're going into 4 years, but we are getting into a third year, full year of following this case and trying to give you some information, some answers, definite answers, factual answers. I think my previous live, which I wanted to do was a question that I had in my head. And the live that I wanted to do last week on Wednesday, before I had difficulty, was the fact that what validates the truth in this case? What validates the truth in this case? Facts or fiction? Facts or fiction? And there are a lot of YouTubers out there right now coming on board with the case, and then there are some veterans that have been out there. And in my opinion, and just mine, from my observation, have gone way beyond the call of duty, way beyond the call of duty, where fact turns into speculation, speculation turns into a fairy tale, and everyone seems to follow the fairy tale. And it just seems like a lot of people have been falling away from the facts. And it's unfortunate because this is a very real story. It has been from day one. And it's sad that there are some content creators out there that are treating this like a piece of meat in the butcher, in the deli, where people get, tell me how many pounds you want, I'll wrap it up and you can take it home. And that's what has been evolving from this case. And it's sad. It really is. And it hurts a lot of people, trying to, follow this case to see if we can get justice. At this point, forget justice. The way this story has been going, forget justice. If it's a YouTuber out there that's really after justice, they have torn this thing up and down, in and out, shredded it back and forth, repeated it once again, over and over and over and over, until we don't even recognize. Wait a minute, who is this about? Oh, no, that's right, Kenneka Jenkins. That's right. When did she die again? Where did she die? How did she die? Oh, that's right. It almost takes a hit or a slap on the head to just remember the basics of where this case came from. There are some good content creators out here that are on the beam and still on target, have never left the facts. There are some content creators, on the other hand, as we talked about in previous lives that I've done, that have taken this case way out to damn Far Rockaway. And it's extraordinary that they're doing that and they don't care. They don't care. And there's some popular content creators out there that are doing just that and don't care. But yet they'll tell you what their common denominator is during the course of their lives or their videos still today. It's about the money. It's about the cash out. It's about the little things that mean something to them. Covering the case is one thing. You volunteer to cover the case, great. Ain't nobody asked you to cover the case. If they did, have a contract where you can get paid and we can understand the cash out. We can understand the Patreon, we can understand the super chat and all this other stuff. But if you don't have a contract and yet you want to cover the case and yet just float that cash out in front of people's eyes to support you, and yet you're taking it out to Far Rockaway, well, like I said, good luck. And it's sad. And I've always been here to tell you from my point of view and my perspective, you know, I don't bash YouTubers. I don't have to. They bash themselves. They do it every single day, 3, 4 times a week, and can hold you up in a live for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time, showing you the same regurgitated stuff for 3 years we have already covered. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because they're only telling you they cannot come to the conclusion that I talked about only because the video surveillance footage has been chopped up. We all know that. It's been doctored, altered, edited, remixed, revamped for public consumption. And that's basically what we've been doing for the last 3 years. Same stuff. Nothing has been authenticated. Nothing has been authenticated. We've had YouTubers challenge the video surveillance footage. We've had YouTubers challenge the crime scene photos of Kenneka in the freezer. We've had YouTubers challenge the narratives that came out from the Rosemont Police Department. We've had YouTubers challenge how everything corresponded between agencies, between the Rosemont Police Department and the medical examiner's office when it came to the autopsy report. And we saw how that unfolded. And me on my channel, I try to keep it right to the point. And nothing has changed based upon the video series that I did on the case. Nothing. But yet around that series, I have seen so much evolve, so much change. We got more suspects now than we had before. I focused on Mike, Cece, Bree, dudes that showed up in Black Smacks group. You can go right back to my videos and find out specifics as to who and when and what time certain things happen with certain people showing up at certain times, even with the double timestamp. But now we have other YouTubers out there just continuing to just drag and drag and drag and drag the story on completely. They don't say much either. Watch the footage is all it's about. Watch the footage. I tell you what, we've been watching the footage for almost 3 years. There's nothing new in the footage because there's no new footage based upon the public footage that they put out that we all have. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's some YouTubers out there like Hell of a Chick. I think she's doing absolutely fantastic work on her channel. Hell of a Chick, much love to you. I have watched you over the last couple of months, and you have really covered even even better than me on this case, like you wouldn't believe. She broke down the narratives, pictures, crime scene photos. She is into the case. There's no hypotheticals, and she doesn't suggest anything either. She leaves it up to the viewer to decide based upon the facts that she gives you. I love it. I love it. Star Cruz did the same thing on her channel. And as long as she was left alone on her channel and not being bothered, she would have done magnificent work. You see? Watch Out Squad, another content creator, came out and he's giving us the narratives. He's giving us photographs. He's going back over that kitchen series. He's going back over the lower level bathrooms, everything, because that's what a true investigator does. You see? And if something changes, they let you know. They don't stay silent, tell you to watch the footage and come to your own conclusions, only to show you what? More stuff. Okay? There are a number of content creators. Jackie Dragon is still out there, and he's pumping it out, on his channel regarding what's going on with the case. And it behooves me over and over again to see the same basic content creators that are out there that seem like they're not getting enough attention, that goes on day after day, every other day, week after week, month after, doing the same stuff, doing the same stuff. I'm waiting for, results to come from Teresa Martin's court date that she had on June 16th, such as the information that Hell of a Chick just covered. And you can go to her site, you can go to her channel, and she's right up to date. She doesn't play around with 3 hours of watching stuff. She gets right to the point, does a 15, 20, 30-minute, 40-minute video, and gives you the facts and moves on to the next piece of critical information that she feels hasn't been covered. So, Hell of a Chick, much love to you. I'm giving you a major shout out for the work that you've done, because you've done absolutely great work. IHQ has been back out there giving us their work after being condemned and challenged and ridiculed that they're the suspect in this case, only to find out that they had an apology given and now they're in the clear. You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to see other content creators cutting other content creators down because we're all following the case. It it never made sense to me. It will never make sense to me. We're not here for each other. We're here for Kenneka, everybody says. But what I see from my point of view, it's ridiculous. Over and over and over. So tonight I wanted to give a yell. I'm going to give you my point of view straight up. I never held anything back. To keep this thing going as long as it's been, on one side, it's great because we keep Kenneka Jenkins's name alive. On the other side, it has just been absolutely, positively, without a doubt, unequivocally ridiculous to keep covering the same stuff. We want to know what's coming out of court. We want to know if there's any new posts that are going on Facebook regarding what may be coming from the family, what may be coming from the attorneys, what may be coming from the case, since it has been moving forward, being that we're, I guess, all in stage 2 or stage 3 of the coronavirus series. Tell us something new. Boss Blake doesn't waste his time going over stuff for the last 3 years over and over and over again. Hell of a Chick has not wasted her time going over and over and over and over stuff. IHQ, I have questions, doesn't do that. I don't do that. Queens of the Round Table doesn't do that. Jackie Dragon doesn't do that. And a host of other YouTubers. And my list is getting smaller from all the content creators I'd love to pull together on this case. Well, they've been, deleting themselves from the list based upon the ridiculous information that they've been putting out. Absolutely ridiculous. I was told from a law enforcement perspective, based on what's been out there, that these people won't touch it. It's unfortunate. These people will not touch this case only because this baby has been shattered and disseminated and just broken all across the floor for them to even fathom how to even put it together on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, any place. And it kind of blew my mind because I was the one working on trying to get everybody together so that this way we'd have everything in a pocket and on their channel, on a playlist, on their playlist. And all they had to do is just click on the content creator, go to the playlist and view it. And lo and behold, over the last 3 months that this has been going on, actually since February, before Corona showed up in March, um, I had a couple of people view a lot of different works going on YouTube regarding the case, and they're shaking their head no. We can't use it. Can't use it. And the only reason why is because it hasn't been authenticated. Check it out. I said, oh, damn. Amp Easy and I were looking to try to get this case authenticated. We were trying to get the video surveillance footage, just like Straight Drop did, just like Mike Mecca did, just like Gray Hughes, when they got the video camera, the software, and everything to try to get this thing authenticated in some way, shape, or form so we can get it over to someone, take a look at. Yeah, absolutely. But what happened? Over and over and over, too many channels, too much distortion, too many disintegrated facts went into this case that is just too big. And I think another content creator mentioned that. So there's just so much out here, they're not even going to take the time out to look. And you know something? They were absolutely right. Because when I was told that, I said, oh man, that blows that out the window. Maybe my goal was too big. Maybe my reach was too far. I wanted everyone included that had this case emotionally invested over time to prove their side of the facts of this case, only to be told by two law enforcement people in forensics and in homicide, tell me, no, this ain't gonna work. I said, well, what's the next step? Oh, well, you're lucky if you can get any of that authenticated. And it went right back to what Amp Easy and I talked about in a private conversation that we had on Hangouts. And he was absolutely right. We need to get the video footage, the actual one, from a FOIA request checked out for authentication. And it's the hardest thing to try to get done, but we found out. Much love to Amp Easy. He was supposed to join me tonight in an open discussion, which I'm going to open up to content creators tonight because this is a special time. It is Father's Day, and I wanted to do something special. I wanted to come strong, hard, and to the point with a lot of things that a lot of content creators held back, didn't have time to mention, or just want to say something that's important. That's what this live is all about. So my love goes out to every single one of you joining us out of a Father's Day holiday, out of a coronavirus situation, out of all of what we've been going through the last 4 months, in the United States here and abroad, you know, and we're still trying to get make some kind of sense and justice out of this case. For some people that are still with the facts, rather than the other people that are just going for the gossip. And it's unfortunate. My love and heart goes out to Teresa Martin and her family. I am in direct contact with one of the family members, so I'm up to speed as to what's going on. But much love and strength that goes to the family because of all the nonsense and absolutely, I try to keep it clean. This bullshit that's been going on with the case on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it. And I'm saying, Why don't they think that if that happened to their kid, their child, in a hotel, went to a party and end up dead in a couple of hours and found in an industrial freezer in the back of the hotel and nobody knows what happened? Why don't they think about that? Because it's not my kid, is their answer. It's not my kid. I don't have to worry about it. I'm talking about somebody else. And that's what's been making sense on YouTube. Ridiculous sense on YouTube. Any content creator following this case for the last 3 years, it's been made ridiculous sense since then. And the ones that continued to do it to this day, damn you for doing it. There are people on Facebook that's been working hard to try to get facts and figures on this case. There have been people on YouTube doing the same thing. We don't come out every day. We come out when we got something. But yeah, and yet we still got the playground players in the playground, like little kids with nothing to do but talk about Kenneka for 2, 3, 4 hours. It's ridiculous. It's a sin to do it against somebody else's child, too. And it would only make sense because if you don't have a child, what the hell would you care? And so that's what we have on YouTube. We got a bunch of what the hell would I care? As long as I have the Cash App and the Patreon and all this other stuff going on, who gives a shit? So yeah. So tonight, hope I can do something. I really do hope I can do something to wake some people up. Not just subscribers, because subscribers are following the case and they're looking for the truth anywhere. Anytime Kenneka's name shows up in a YouTube video, that's where they're going. They're going to go to the content creator. If it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, half hour, hour, alive, or whatever, they're going to go. And that's great because you get your education from that content creator. Majestic 716. Thank you, love. I'm coming to you strong because this has been long enough. After a while, looking at the Kenneka Jenkins case gives you a headache, don't it? Type of 1. Honestly, type of 1 in the chat. After all this time, going on 3 years, anything that comes up Kenneka Jenkins, it's got to give you some kind of a headache, some kind of a awkward, off balance feeling coming from a content creator that you may have heard or never heard. Type of 1, if you've ever felt that way, because I know I have. And it's been crazy. There we go. Latoya Slater, much love to you. Boss Blake, I hear you. Carmela Valenciano, I hear you. Type of 1, it's giving you a headache. I wonder what they came up with now. I wonder what new evidence came up now. And it's never new evidence, it's the same stuff. Same stuff. Boss Blake don't put out same stuff. Hey, lovely, how you doing? Johnny Mae Wallace, Angela White, Stephanie Harden. Yeah. We don't put out same stuff, make a show out of it, play music around it. Cynthia Sin, much love to you. Rosita, Catherine, yeah, play music around it, foghorns, blow whistles, all kinds of stuff, suspenseful music. I mean, come on, just so that you can watch. It's a movie. This thing is turned into a movie. Thank you, Latoya. Much love and respect to you. You're only going to get straight up facts from me. I don't come on here to waste people's time. I'm not here to respin 36 hours of video footage in your face. I'm not here to continue to show you the crime scene photos. I'm not here to continue to go over the narrative reports, police recordings, we, I mean, go anywhere on the internet and you can find it for yourself. Go anywhere on the internet, you can find it for yourself and listen for yourself and educate yourself. What you really have to be careful of is the content creator giving you that information and then suggesting that it is otherwise contrary to what you find. This is where influence comes in. The power of influence lies in your hands and not in someone else's. I'm not here to tell you something. I'm here to share with you something, but yet your intelligence is going to decide whether it's true or false. You've done your research. Anybody that's been following this case has done their research. Really, they have. And it's amazing on what research they've done because they're continuing to show us their research. Well, bar none, yet this case don't need no more research. 3 years? What police department, detective agency, internal investigations, criminal division unit has taken 3 years to continue doing research? Only people that would do that is the FBI on a cold case. Only on a cold case. We ain't no FBI because the FBI goes back to the crime scene and then starts all over again. The thing about us is that we've never been to the crime scene, none of us. So what are we going to research other than the same stuff that's been out there? Huh? Same stuff. Go to Rosemont Public Safety website and you'll find the case files. Simple. You don't have to go to my channel. You don't have to go to anybody else's channel. Go to the Rosemont Public Safety website and start opening up those files yourself. And then you'll know everything about this case just like I do. Maybe even more. Hell of a Chick has been doing a hell of a job. Boss Blake has been doing a hell of a job. Watch Out Squad has been doing a hell of a job. Star Cruise started, oh my God, if I can remember, she started and on her own, a computer and a phone, just trying to talk information about the case on what she found. What happened to her? She got attacked. For what? For what? Because she has a Spanish accent, a sweet Spanish accent, trying to talk to her group, her subscribers, her people in her chat room. She wasn't bothering anyone, but yes, she was attacked. I can say, okay, well, if we're all following the Kenneka Jenkins case, why would we attack somebody else? It's just what other YouTubers do. Yes, Majestic 716. Yeah, Wanda. I love that woman because she stood up to the scrutiny of somebody else attacking her as a woman following the case. And here she is giving you her independent overview, just like I am giving you my independent overview, just like Malika did. Sam, 54 Keys, anybody else giving you their independent input on this. Why should they be attacked for it? And the majority of it is the females are being attacked, from what I noticed. Crazy. The guys don't care. That stuff rolls off of us like, okay, it is what it is. But, to women who've emotionalized this case, just like some of us guys, we feel where they're coming from. And she should not have even gotten attacked, but she was. But you know something? She's still pushing through. So, Wanda, Miss Cruz, if you hear me tonight, you stay on point, stay on your channel, forget all that nonsense. Whatever you come up with regarding this case is just as important as my channel or anybody else's. Okay? You stay on point, love. 54 Keys, you stay on point. Malika, you stay on point. Sam, you stay on point. And all other female content creators that have been covering this case, stay on point. Don't let the BS stop you from getting whatever you sought out in this case to get. And tell them John Q said so. Okay? And if they got a problem, let them come to my channel and put negative comments up on my board. No big deal. No big deal. Because enough is enough. If it's about Kenneka Jenkins, let it stay Kenneka Jenkins, folks. Let it stay Kenneka Jenkins, folks. Let it stay Kenneka Jenkins, folks. All of the other stuff that y'all are doing is the bullshit. And we know that. We've been on here long enough to know that. If you really care, put your heart into it. But then again, everybody else knows, who has and who hasn't. Knowing me, anyway. Because I don't pull any punches. I don't. So tonight, I'm not here to show you any pictures. I'm not here to show you any film or video. All that's already been posted. I'm not going to keep going over work that has already been given. And I don't suggest any content creator that's covered this case to go over the same stuff over and over like a Ferris wheel at an amusement park because people haven't gotten on the ride. Do something else. Give us some facts. Give us some new information. Give us something that can help us to stay together, but yet move forward. That's my word. I think if anything I can say in tonight's live, I just did. If anything I can say in tonight's live, I just did. I expected a number of content creators to join me tonight. This is going to be an open discussion. So, with that said, I gave you my input. Always give you my input. You feel where I'm coming from. You know where John Q is coming from. Because I've always come from that area from day one. When I started with Malika, I've come from that area since day one. And she believed in me enough to put me on her platform. And she believed in me enough to And this is where I grew into the John Q channel that you guys subscribe to. I didn't come out of nowhere. My channel just didn't start last year and all this other stuff. I've been here since day one. I didn't develop my channel until last year, 2019. That's the truth. Go back to my videos. John Q had to grow over time from 2017. So if there's been anyone on this case since 2017 and they're complaining about somebody showing up in 2019 and they got no content and they're part of the no face gang and all this other stuff, you know something? Brush them aside. They're trying to keep you all to themselves, trying to keep you grouped all to themselves, 30, 40, 50 people talking about the same stuff that they said, well, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm going to move on, and they come back. I'm done, I'm finished, I'm going to move on, and then they come back because they know Kenneka Jenkins' case gives them the views. They know this is an ongoing case, and yet they keep coming back. I'm not going to talk about the Kenneka Jenkins case no more. Okay, you solved it. Man did it. The Wilson brothers did it. Great. Okay, take your shit to the FBI. Take it to the FBI. If it's important that you worked all that long, take it to the FBI. Don't come back and say, oh, well, I changed my mind. I think I need to turn another corner. There was another camera I didn't see and all this other crazy stuff. Teresa Martin was there and she did a whole bunch of stuff. She knows what happened and all this other stuff. Come on. He was responsible for sacrificing Kenneka. All this twisted stuff only makes for views. That's it. Point blank, simple. Simple. It just makes for views, you know, because those are the same people that really don't give a damn about Kenneka. They keep showing you the same stuff. Those are the ones that don't give a damn about Kenneka. Never did. Never did. It was a good story, and it's still a good story. Why give it up? Why give it up? Oh, John Q is the FBI. John Q's a cop. John Q is the police. Have you all heard of that? Type of one. Do me a favor. Type of one in the chat if you heard John Q is the police. Just out of curiosity, I'm very curious. John Q is the FBI. He's the police. He's the popo. He's what do you call it? One of those ops and all this other shit. Type of one in the chat if you heard that John Q is an FBI agent. I laughed. Type of one. Don't be afraid. Linda Truman. Okay. I appreciate your honesty. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Toya, Teeny, Chi-Town. There you go. Watch Out Squad, Boss Blake. Look at that. Majestic. My moderator, Majestic, even heard that John Q was FBI and he's a police officer. He's a cop and all this other stuff. Crazy, right? You got to sit there and laugh. You have to, because no one has proven it. We've waited since January for all the proof about John Q being an FBI agent and a cop. But unfortunately, the only thing they can do is keep showing you reruns of the same stuff. Yeah, truth be told. I hear you, Rebecca. Jennifer, same stuff. John Q is FBI. I'm like, oh, really? Shit, I wish I was. I would have solved this baby a long time ago and closed this thing up, and we wouldn't be talking about Kenneka right now. Or y'all would have given me the information to get to the supervisor of an FBI Federal Investigation Unit and have that go into Teresa Martin's court case right now, if it was going to help. But guess what? I ain't got no emails. Oh, stay away from John Q. He's Popo. He's a police, FBI. You don't want to go there. So what the hell are you doing your case for if you don't want to get it to the FBI? Oh, well, you can't trust the FBI. They're in it too. Well, prove it. The Federal Bureau of Investigation of the United States is involved with the Kenneka Jenkins case. Oh, prove it. Come on. It's all dark matter. That's all it is. It's just dark matter. Why? To keep you going to the channels that you run to. That's all. That's it. IHQ went through that process. I went through that process. Malika went through that process. 54 Keys went through that process. Straight Drop went through that process. Jackie Dragon went through that process. Sam went through that process. We're all called agents because when we can deliver and present information about this case in a way that's more so closer to the truth than the way that the so-called other people are presenting it, yeah, we pose a threat. We pose a threat. I'm not on here showing you Nikes. I'm not on here flashing cash or whether you need to see my face or not. And whether I'm part of the no face gang and all this other crazy nonsense, or whether I'm the FBI, I've been on this case just like everybody else. I want what everybody else wants, but do they really want it? Are they really wanting it as much or as bad as I want it? Obviously, well, the answer is different. It's different. So I love every single one of y'all for joining me tonight on this Father's Day Eve, this evening. Once again, much love to all the fathers that are in this chat room that have children that you are protecting and providing and caring for. Much love to the women that those children belong to and giving you your heart, their love, their providing substance, and their education on what to look forward to so that this way we don't repeat the same thing as to what happened. And I know Teresa Martin sends her love the same way. We need to keep our eyes on our kids. We need to care for our families. We need to provide better information to them, not tell them, let them figure it out for themselves. The best way to figure out something for your children is to always ask them a question. Ask them a question. Don't tell them something that they need to do. Ask them a question as to what they would do. That's all. Just ask them a simple question. Let them think, because that is the faculty in which every single one of us is under attack on, our thinking. Why we come onto YouTube and follow the Kenneka Day? Because your thinking is always under attack. If it makes sense, you know it. If it doesn't, well, you know what happened too. Damn, it don't take a rocket science. This ain't geometry, algebra. I like 1 + 1. I like 1 - 1. I like 1 ÷ 5. All this simple math works the same way. And that's what you have to do. Unfortunately, if you're covering a murder investigation or anything else, hell, I mean, George Floyd, look what happened to him. It's simple math. It's simple math. What happened to the guy named Brooks? Simple math. Breonna Taylor. Simple math. It don't take rocket science for Kenneka Jenkins either. Just simple math. Simple math. So what I'm going to do, I had to get that out. It's been a while. I hope you don't mind because I love every single one of you guys, and you all stuck with me, and y'all stuck with the people that know me. You know, no one can knock me down because I'm not here to be knocked down. I'm here to step up. How about you? It's not about being knocked down. If you showed up to be knocked down, I guess you will. But if you showed up here to stand up, well, guess what? John Q is with you. I will always be with you. This ain't about me. It's about something else. So if it's about something else, keep it as something else. But don't twist and turn and connive and conjure up and come with all kinds of different fairy tales and fantasies that you cannot prove because the people are not stupid. Your child comes to you and tells you something that happened in school. That's a story. Until you ask that child your questions as a parent, you will check out that child's story with the teacher, with the principal, with the dean, and her friends and the neighbors at the same time. See, now that is the same substance that we need for Kenneka Jenkins. Same stuff. And you don't have to go any further. Once you got the truth, guess what? I don't care what name you put on it, you're not going to go back to the one that's lying to you or that's telling you a story or that's telling you about a fabricated this or a fabricated that. I got people on Facebook covering this story, helping us to cover this story. I went as far as that. And much love to those folks on Facebook. I got one name in mind, Barbara Barris. And she was attacked for helping John Q in what he was doing. Now go figure that one out. Malika was attacked for helping John Q and vice versa. Tiffany Draper got attacked. What is all this attack stuff all about? Because we have a difference of perspective. You need those viewers more than we do or something? How silly you are. Very silly. I was determined to come on tonight. And my daughter said, no, don't do it, Dad. Do it tomorrow night. Do it tomorrow night. You got the hookup now. Do it tomorrow night. I said, you know something? I had a great barbecue. I got to go. This is something I've been wanting to do. I was going to have content creators join us tonight. And you know something? I hope that that idea still holds true. So with that said, and I am sorry if I'm not reading the chat room right now, but I will. I just wanted to share something with you that's a part of me that's been going on since I've joined the case. And at the same time, too, as a parent and as a grandparent, and as those that are in here that are parents and grandparents to children that we have to mindfully keep in our attention on, this is where I'm coming from. And you know this. You know this. So if there's no one on YouTube that's going to tell you like I do, well, guess what? You got me. You got me. You got me to tell you. Because if I can tell you, then guess what? You'll know somebody told you. And you'll know to escape all the fog, all the cobwebs of this Kenneka Jenkins case and all these different content creators that are coming out. Shake the damn tree. Let the nuts fall where they will. Fall will be here in a moment. And what happens in fall? All the leaves fall off the tree so you can see it bare. And then it survives during winter when the tree is still bare. And then when it comes about having some kind of truth about it, the spring will come and so will summer. It is right now. And the leaves are on the tree. The fruit never falls furthest from the tree because the ground always picks it up. You got me? The ground always picks it up. So there's no lying in what you see. 4 seasons, 4 temperatures. Well, if things work that way, well, 1 plus 1 is 2. What are we doing almost 3 years later with this case? Come on. What are we doing? All right. Amen. All right. Let me see. Board. Here's what I'm going to do. As best as I can, too. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. And there it is. Whoever wants to come up, and I'll handle it one at a time, but whoever wants to come up and to speak, let's go. Let's put some work in tonight. I will accept the invite. And I'll do it again, just in case folks have missed it. And there it is again. This is about an open discussion, open forum. No more video, no more photographs, no more nothing. Let's get everybody on board. Let's get everyone's word on what they've experienced because that's important. And let's move forward with what Teresa Martin and her family has to look forward to. I think that's the best move we can make at this point because we done screwed it up on YouTube and Facebook already with all of the hypotheticals, all of the stuff that can't be proven. So now the only thing that's left is dialogue. Dialogue. So if we can have that to keep this case moving forward while Teresa is handling her case, I think that would be the most intelligent thing that we can do, just to show her and the family that we still care. Because if we don't, this discussion is over. It's already done. So let's see who we have. If it makes sense to you, I hope it does. I hope it does. I hope it does. Lady, how you doing, love?
Can you hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, I'm so glad to be on the live stream with you. This is wonderful. And I'm exhausted as well. I am exhausted. I can hear the exhaust in your tone and voice. And I'm a moderator. So everybody in the chat, I'm a moderator. I keep it positive. I will block you if you be disrespectful to the host. But I love my people and I will fight for Kenneka as long as it take, because I know my 8-year-old daughter is going to be 19 one day. I don't want her to ever have to be in a situation like this. We have been exhausted on this case on trying to find out what's been going on. And I've been here for day one, and I guess that's the reason why I got a mod. I appreciate that. But I've been following this case from all the 15, 16, 17, 25 people that have jumped on this case. And I would like to do a little shout out to myself. I don't know if everybody agree, but I like 54 Keys. I like Watch Out Squad. I like a lot of people that I can't even mention because it's been so many people, but I'm exhausted. The fighting started and we lost our focus. And us as subscribers, because even though I'm a mod, I was a subscriber. So I've been following this. We are exhausted because we don't want to hear any more stories. We don't want to know if it looked like it was somebody, if it they carried her, if they didn't. We want results at this point because we all know and can agree that this was not an accident. This was not an accident. This is the whole point of Kenneka. And if I could, and I hope everyone that comes on after me would say something very positive, like John Q said. We need to be positive to let her know and have strength, Mrs. Martin, that we are still out here trying to find answers and want to know too. And we done been through people from getting money, not getting money. We don't know who's true, who's real about it. I done modded for some that wasn't real with it, and I had to part ways. It didn't bother me as much because I knew that I had some other avenues to get some information, because it's some out here that are actually for her, and it's some that started for her. This is what happened. It was started for her, and then things changed with people. They started to get the people coming in. The people came in because we wanted to know what was going on. It wasn't for you to get a big head. It was for you to give us some information. And if you're giving us information, we can do our research, send emails, give information from what we know, because we have been invested. I know with George Floyd has came on and everything, and it has changed the world. Yes, our people have been done wrong for many years, and I appreciate the fact that things are changing because of George. It's bigger than George, but it started from there, and that's great. But we still are on Kenneka's case, and we still want justice for something that we know was not an accident. We know that Kenneka did not walk in there, no matter how many tapes flipped backwards, forward, sideways, it still doesn't matter. We know that she was not, she didn't actually go in there and just die. And that's what keep the case alive for me. I love Kenneka like if she was my own. I have a 20-year-old niece. So I look at it the same way. And if you are a mother of children, you should feel the same way. And this is the thing that gets us as subscribers, because people push us in and we get invested, and then they turn around and find like they are shabby and doing something that is what we're not looking for. We're looking for results at this point because we don't need answers. And I don't mean to be long-winded, John.
No, you're doing fine. You're
I don't
doing
mean to be
fine.
long-winded, but
Eh,
that was just my contribution, and I'm glad you had the stream because at this point I agree. It's time for Teresa to hear from us, and I hope that everybody that comes on let her know how invested we have been. No matter if we've been bamboozled by some of these YouTubers, this is how we feel about the case. Because who will truly wanted to know answers, results from this case, regardless about money was given or whatever. Yes, she should get something for the death of her daughter that we still don't know answers for. So if you get mad she got money, it makes no sense. Why shouldn't she be compensated for that? But we still want some answers as the people out here in the world, all over the world. It's different states come in your chat. They probably even in different countries that have been following this case. And Miss Martin, we actually want to know too. And we never thought that you didn't. So that's all I wanted to say.
well, Lady Tia, thank you so much
Oh,
for
you are welcome. I love moderating for you, and I appreciate that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're working hard from, in my chat room, and it takes a lot of trust to, have someone to moderate and that's going to be with you and stay with you in a
Well,
way where
I
it keeps everything flowing. So much
well,
love to you for coming up.
I want to say one more thing before I go. I've heard the stories about you being an FBI retired agent, and my thing was on it. Well, if he is, that's a good thing because He ain't never been told to be an FBI agent when I met him. So if that's what he do and has retired from it, we need him because you have came on here about Kenneka from day one. You try to make sense of it. That's why I love moderating for you because it's logical. It makes sense. I can tell your wisdom in this whole situation. I know you're not about money because that's not what it's about. But if you are an FBI agent, we need you. So when people said that, they are like they were saying something that was negative. I was more like, well, if he is, let me talk to John Q. What the hell you been doing? He over here going crazy, and you ain't did nothing.
I know. I know. I mean, I fell out of my chair laughing when I heard it. And I said, this, I got to see some kind of proof. And
I
there's
want
still no proof, and there won't be any because, when you have content creators out there doing something else other
yeah.
than what they're talking about,
We're
it's
looking at
easy
you
to see the
instead of
truth.
Kenneka.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop looking
But
into other people, content creators. Look into the case. We want the case information, not who
yeah,
YouTuber is doing what YouTuber is doing. I don't give a damn where y'all live. I don't care who you work for. But if your ass is the FBI, excuse my French, if you are an FBI agent, John, you slap it.
right. Well, Lady Tia, thank you so much for
Oh,
joining this discussion. Your voice is important, just like every single voice in this chat room tonight. I'm going to be, focusing in on having discussion groups as best
mm-hmm.
as I can and moderate them as best as I can because I need to hear from you guys,
Yeah.
as to what you've come across, what you've experienced, and for you to have some kind of a say in this whole case because everybody else seems to squelch and
Walk right
moderate
along and move over
and
there, move over
yeah,
there. We
right,
have to
and
get
block
sound
you.
advice, and you
You
have
can't
sound advice.
you
You
can't
have sound
ask questions, you can't do any of that, on their channel because you get blocked. But much
advice.
love to you on this
I
special
appreciate,
day. Uh,
I
I
appreciate it.
truly appreciate you, Lady
I'm so
Tia, and
glad
thanks
that
so
you
much
had
for
a great. I'm glad you had a great Father's Day, and I'm glad that you wanted to share your Father's Day with us. I appreciate that. I love
yes.
my strong black fathers, and thank you so much. I'm gonna get back in the chat. I got some moderating to do, but
You are
everybody's doing
very
really
welcome.
well. Everybody's doing well in the chat. I appreciate everybody in the chat.
You are
So
very welcome. Thank you, Lady
I'm gonna
Tia.
get back out. Have a good one.
Okay, love. You too. Next up, we got She Town Fit Queen. If you can unmute your mic, and Boss Blake is in line too. Let me see if I can. Okay, Chi Town, how you doing?
I am good. How you doing, John?
I am doing good. Thank you so much, love, for joining us this evening for a special live to have an open panel discussion. I wanted to include everyone as best as I can tonight because your input on this case is vital. And I said, this is what I need to be doing now because we're waiting for the results to come out of the court case, you know?
Hmm.
So, yes, so welcome. Welcome, love.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
My handle is exactly where I am. I'm originally from Chicago, so I understand, how they get down. I grew up and was born and raised in Chicago, so I understand the culture and, how the young kids move and, the gangs and the drugs and the partying and stuff like that. And I relocated to Texas as a result of the crime because I just got tired of it and wanted to experience what it's like to live somewhere else with less crime. But this case has really taken a toll on me. I know as well as other people, and I know that everybody cares and are concerned with the case and what happened with baby girl. But I think we just a lot of us have lost our focus. We really have. All the fighting and the bickering between the other content creators, although we appreciate the content being shared and stuff like that. we're of course going to do what we need to do to, research on our own and to, look into it ourselves or whatever. But, I think a lot of the focus has been taken off of, trying to get the justice that Kenneka deserves. And I'm more interested in trying to see if, there are other ways that we can actually be more beneficial to support the family. Does, Mama T, need anything else? I know that there's been stories about, her taking monies or being bribed or, was directly involved. And let me just say this for the record. I just never thought from day one that Mama T was actually involved. That's just my personal take on it. Just, understanding how, these the kids, move and, how they were. And, especially after looking at the lives and, looking at all the, the evidence that, was presented and released. I already knew that Crown Plaza, was corrupt anyway. And, Rosebud, Police Department, well, of course, had a little bit of, to do with it, if you ask me, but that's just my personal take on it. So, I just want us to, continue to keep her name alive and let us all just continue the focus and, to keep it on Kenneka and the family instead of, doing all this fighting backwards and forth. And I'm with you, all the, these long ass videos and that don't mean a damn thing because we done all seen this shit over and over again. We understand ins and outs. And I know I have lost a lot of time, just like everybody else, lost sleep, personal time and stuff like that, just because we care about what happened to Kenneka. If you ask me, when you go to a party and stuff, especially when you come with friends, you come all together, you're supposed to all ride out together and you're supposed to make sure that everybody is okay. And then if you have one that's, a little inebriated or out of it or whatever, you do what you can to make sure you keep eyes on that person to make sure that everybody actually arrives there, safely and then return to their destinations, home safely. And we all understand, the people that played their roles. Some people, drop the ball big time with it. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that, especially with regards to Monifa, let me just put that out there. I ain't scared to call her out. I feel like that, she failed her just like a few other people have failed her. How do you come to a party and you don't make sure that your friend is okay? How do you go back and understand that, that she's missing, and but you go back to partying like it's nothing?
Right.
I still can't get that out of my head. But anyway, bringing it all back, I just that's what I want to know. If you, I think I heard you say earlier, in the live that you have or in communications with one of the family members. So I don't know whether or not if you know this yourself or if that's something that you can find out. Is there anything that they could possibly need, or has there been like a foundation or some sort of organization that might have been opened up in Kenneka's name? Maybe we can, contribute that way to try to help and also keep, baby girl's name alive.
Right. No, I got much love for you. I do. Because you hit it right there.
Hmm.
This is what it's about.
Right.
I told people, I think Amp Easy and I
Hmm.
trying to come up with a some kind of a game plan to try to get the video surveillance footage authenticated, and it was going to
Hmm.
cost some money. Okay, and so uh, knowing that, he put out a video that had a Cash App and all this other stuff, and it kind of took me a little bit by surprise, but I knew what he was doing. And I
Hmm.
told him, I said, pull it, because if people think that you're trying to get cash to do something, okay, then it's not going to work. Not going to work. We need to get the company that's going to do the authentication. If they have something of a link that we can link everything to, I don't mind promoting a Cash App, a Super Chat, or anything for them to get paid, because we know that the money is going toward authenticating the video surveillance footage. The time
Hmm.
that she got off the elevator, the
Right.
time she walked the hallways, the
Hmm.
time she entered the East Kitchen, the time she went into kitchen 2, came out of kitchen 2, went to the east kitchen again, walked out, and then ended up in the lower level bathroom area where we see her in full color. And this was my question. Thank you for bringing that up too. When we see Kenneka enter the lower level bathroom area, okay? Everyone knows that footage. When she just entered that area before she went into that area, hit the rail, turned around, fixed her clothes, turned abruptly around, walked across the hallway, came back out, went into the men's room, came back out, and then abruptly walked back into the area that she came. If you notice something, because I did, okay, that hallway seems to me, I don't know if it seems to anybody else, but it seems to me that that hallway is in black and white while Kenneka is in color. Kenneka's clothes are in color. Her jean jacket, her pants, her sneakers, everything is in color. But when you look at the carpet of the hallway, when you look at the walls, the lights, the rail she hit, when she went roundabout, fixed herself, went behind the wall, went into the men's room, came back out, and then walked back into the kitchen area, all of that seemed like it was in black and white. While Kenneka was in color. Everyone, since I brought that up, everyone, if you can find that video, just study it. Study it.
Well, I think it's
Maybe
really
maybe I was looking at something entirely wrong, but that's the way it appeared to me.
I have to agree with you. I also am of the mind that one of the reasons why we're here with this, with the footage being like it was, is because they had plenty time to doctor these videos, and a lot of the footage that we're seeing definitely has been looped. So we don't truly have. And this is just from me just looking at all the evidence and looking at the video footage. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science, to come to this conclusion that, it's apparent that we didn't get everything, not actually how it actually planned out that night or it played out that night. It was, to me, it was immediately evident that, the footage actually had been doctored and tampered with and stuff like that. So this MTV BS that they did, I mean, they shouldn't even just, even covered it, because if you're going to cover something, cover it all the way. Don't come half-assed with it, because this is somebody's life that was lost. You know what I'm saying? And I'm surprised at some of the people that actually even did that interview. And I was just like, wow. But yeah, I have to agree with you there that, one, we didn't get the true actual footage that occurred that night. And it was definitely doctored, if you ask me. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It's no other way to really put it. And for them to not have gotten, I want to say that I think that the footage that they keep it on a drive. Why? How come that drive wasn't immediately obtained that night? You know what I'm saying? And that was, in my opinion, that where the ball was initially dropped, because we already know that the investigation actually was butchered. They fucked this up all the way around. Excuse my French, but I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I hear you. I had Corinne Harris on my live. And she covered some extraordinary information. I have it on my page, just in case those that missed it, you can go back. And, as a forensic specialist, she said the same thing. She is going to get everything that night when the police enter, and she is a forensic specialist collecting evidence. She is getting it that night, not 48, 72 hours later, from a manager of the hotel that turned it over on a thumb drive. So I agree. And Corinne Harris said the same damn thing, and she said, we're not doing that. you know, because evidence can be tampered with between the time a crime happens up until the time the police get the evidence to try to process it, you know.
Hmm.
So I'm in full
Exactly.
agreement. I'm in full agreement with you. Much love to you for that. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem. I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time, especially on Father's Day. And by the way, happy Father's Day to you
Oh,
and
thank
everybody
you.
else. For taking the time out, because I think that it's truly important, especially in the minority community, that we shed light and come together, stop fighting amongst each other, and not be afraid to speak up. Not just with Kenneka's case, but just anything that happens to go on, because a lot of times people get scared, or they kind of back down, and things are missed or may not come out just because of fear, or not wanting to come together. So at least this is a
Right.
start, is what I could say.
Right. But
Yeah.
like I said, thank you so much, love,
No
for joining
problem.
our platform tonight. Your voice is important. Your thoughts are important. You've hung in there with me since I went live, and I've always noticed your name, and you've got so much to offer in terms of your experience on this
Hmm.
case. And so I'm going to bring up the next
Okay.
subscriber and everything else like that. But much love to you.
You too, John, and thanks again. And I'm gonna go back to join in the rest of the live.
Okay, love.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, chat. You hear what's going on? This is what we're talking about. And if Boss Blake, I saw him up here, but if Boss Blake can come back, then that would be great because I always enjoy talking to him. Um, this is important. I think the dialogue that we need to have needs to take place now, right now, outside of everything that we saw, outside of everything that we know. We don't need to see Irene's live, I guess, to an extent to where Irene's live, just goes in one ear, out the other, in through the left, out through the right, or Ty's live, MTV's special. What happened when that show was just getting ready to go on? We heard from Irene and what she said. We heard from Monifa and what she said. And coincidentally, we heard from Shemaya at the same time as to what she said after all this time. So take in light everything that we're covering. Okay. So with that said, let's bring on Majestic 716. You can unmute your mic and share with us your experience and welcome. This is my first time talking with you, so much love to you.
Hi, John. I wasn't going to call. I'm just getting over strep. I've been very ill, but I wanted to say happy Father's Day and touch down on the case with you a little bit. Um, I think my first issues came up with the fact that they brought the canines in, but we never saw the canines used. We all know that the footage was evidently tampered with. We know it's not real. We don't see one other person in that hallway with her, which in a hotel in Chicago near an airport at any time of day would just be unthinkable. And even the lives that the kids did were tampered with and edited. Everything just doesn't make sense. And without all the information, I don't believe we're ever going to come to a conclusion because of that.
And something, I agree with you. I do. Because in my last couple of lives, I've said that other YouTube content creators that are trying to get some kind of conclusion to this case, they can't. Absolutely. You cannot, because there is nothing that between the video surveillance footage that's been messed with. You can't connect the pieces in a timeline. So they broke the timeline. And you can spin every single piece of the video surveillance footage over and over and over and over and over again. But guess what? You're going to miss a piece of the timeline you can't tie together to come to a conclusion. That's why I said the video surveillance footage is inconclusive. And this was the reason why Amp Easy and I came up with the idea. It was actually his idea to get the video surveillance footage authenticated so that we can say, if this is what they review, we can see if there's a time skip. If there is, we will also know if there were time edits, freezes, alterations, and all kinds of things. I mean, he came up even with the fact that every video surveillance camera in the Crown Plaza Hotel had a microphone attached to it based on the model that they have in the hotel. That means that the food court had a microphone, the lobby had a microphone, the east to the west hall on the other side where the conference rooms are, where we saw Teresa run out along with Lenora leaving the hotel, that had a microphone. All of the cameras we seen Kenneka in had a microphone, and that includes the kitchen area in which she walked, including the upper kitchen, in which obviously that was the last place we seen her walk, had a microphone. And he's studying the camera, the software, and to see if it can be manipulated. And so I was going to really, have a special live tonight because that's new information on the case. I'm not here to, take everybody around a Ferris wheel. I'm here to go, okay, that's new, let's go. And that's the way we left it. But totally forgot today was Father's Day, and Amp Easy is a father. And so I hope to have him on at a later time so he can give us all of his findings as to, what he found about the camera, the microphone, the software, because he's got that too. And he's doing his own preliminary internal investigation on these things as we talk. So, yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna inbox you the name of the there is a cleaners that on their web page. I have the information written down somewhere. When I find it, I'll inbox you on your email. But there's information on a cleaners company that was called in, and one of the ex-workers left a comment saying that they cleaned the hotel the day after all of this happened, and there was blood and a mess. And I'm going to find it. I don't want to misquote it. I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction, but I will send it to you to analyze because maybe this cleaners needs to be questioned more.
Right, right. No, I appreciate that. I mean, you have my email, John Q CUE 001 @gmail.com. Anyone can email me what they'd love to send me, and I'm not going to use your information haphazardly as we've seen, previously. I'm going to analyze it. If it fits the case, I'll let you know by email. If it doesn't, I'll let you know by email that it doesn't. At least you've helped, but at the same time, we have to keep the integrity of the facts together.
Exactly.
And I truly appreciate you just bringing up that point because, I truly thought all content creators on this case would operate the same way. But unbeknownst to me, I figured out something else. And it's ridiculous for content creators that have been covering this case to keep just regurgitating. I mean, watch this. Malika from Queens of the Round Table. Okay, everyone know Malika. They have to. Okay, she brought up a photo, and that photo consisted of a picture of some people at, I think, a swimming pool was the theme of the whole picture. And she broke it down in such a way as that it wasn't a swimming pool. It was some kind of a baptismal ceremony, and everyone was disfocused or faded out in this eye shot application. And we were told that, oh, here's a photo of Kenneka in a swimming pool, and these are the people that saw her. And it blew my mind. And we studied for a month this photo before Malika went live to discredit the photo and not the content creator. Okay, it wasn't so much the content creator bringing it to us, it was the material or the evidence that the content creator was telling us it was that it wasn't. And this was a big dispute between content creators. And I say this, only because I know Malika. I've worked with her personally. I've worked with a number of content creators personally, and the work that they put out is impeccable. This particular photo I knew was bogus, only because it never showed up before. And if this was a video of something that someone took, well, why not show the video rather than a photo? And she makes an excellent point. And she broke it down in a way to where you cannot not understand what she was trying to cover and not knock the content creator. The content creator is the content creator. They're there and they're getting information from people, on email, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. And they can only decide to put out the information the way they get it. However, if they don't vet it, if they don't check it, then we have to hold the content creator responsible.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
I think also, yeah, there's a lot of things that people just put out there from their point of view that it's not investigated. It's said the way it was given to them, as you said, and that's been the whole part of misleading everybody. And that's why I'm grateful for you, because you brought together the real content creators. As you see, we don't have any of the fake ones in here, the ones that mislead, the ones that are in it for money. At first you had a few more, but they slowly weeded themselves out to where now you only have the ones that are really on the case to help Kenneka. And I think that's the best thing that you've done for this case. You've put in so much work, but I think you're I'm sorry, I can't get the word.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. I know. But I appreciate you coming live. This is the first time you're on a live talking and everything. It is, it does feel kind of awkward, but I had my time too. And thank goodness to Malika from Queens of the Round Table. She helped me to focus on this case and in a way to where I'm able to speak and express myself based on, what I found and what I was investigating at the time. So this being your first time, maybe on a platform, I welcome you and I thank you so much for stepping up, and expressing what's been on your mind about this case.
No, I appreciate you, and I know you're genuine, because you offered to help me, and you gave me pointers on how I can get started and get over my stage fright. So I appreciate you. I want to know, how come the dinner video was never investigated more?
Say again?
How come the dinner video of Kenneka and everybody at dinner prior to going to the party was never investigated more when there was said to be people involved, but of course that tape was tampered with also, so we can't tell if it's the real person or not. How come that was
Right,
never investigated more?
right, right. No, I agree. I agree. How come there wasn't any more video when she went to dinner? How come there's only about, 15, 20 seconds of it, and then boop, it goes out, you know?
Right, and we know that's not how we record things. We record them for a
Right,
good hot second.
right. Anyone recording a party, a gathering, a special event or something of that nature is not going to spend 10, 15, 20 seconds, just capture something and then jump off. And it's almost equivalent to what Monifa was doing in the bathroom when she was in there and she had the cognac and she was talking to Shemaya and then talking to Kenneka, which was in the bedroom, about her coming to the bathroom. And obviously, we heard Kenneka say, "Well, what do you want? Don't play with me." And it's no, I want to show you something. I want to show you something, is what Monifa said. And then the video shuts off. And then we find out during the police investigation that there were 4 videos removed from Monifa's phone, her
Mm.
iPhone. Yeah.
Now, see, that's
So,
new. That's something new I just heard. I haven't
yeah.
heard that to this point.
So you have to ask yourself what was on her phone she didn't want no one else to see. You know, what was on
That
Kenneka's
video
phone?
Irene sent her.
Right. What was on Kenneka's phone that took time for the police to see? You see? So there's
Didn't
there's a
Miss
there's a huge gap there that we're missing, obviously. But go ahead. Go ahead, love.
didn't Miss Teresa have Kenneka's phone and refuse to turn it over for a day or two?
Yes. Yes. And the only
I
reason why, and the only reason why is because you're a mother. Here's your daughter. You find out is now deceased. She's now deceased in a commercial building called a hotel. And within that building is a freezer in which you find and you are informed that your daughter has been found to end. So now, the way they treated Teresa Martin and Lenora when they entered that upper kitchen area to show them the body and the freezer and then the body again, it was only about 3 to 4 minutes, and how they were treated beforehand and then after. I think Teresa was very apprehensive in turning over anything that belonged to Kenneka, which would say something different than what was found. Okay, what that is, I guess we'll never know. Okay, and that's the way it was left, and that's fine. It doesn't negate the fact that Kenneka ended up dead in the Crown Plaza Hotel in an industrial freezer in the back of the hotel at a certain time by a hotel employee and management, and then the police department. You see, almost 21 hours later, 21 hours later. And that's a big part that we don't have. It's a huge part. That's the gap or the blank that we all have in this case. I would have solved this already. Trey Gang would have solved this already. Jackie Dragon would have solved this already. Straight Drop would have solved this already. The YouTube content creators would have solved this already had we had all of the footage. And it only told us we didn't. But a good question. Very good question.
I believe Miss Teresa knows. I think I put it this way, I just believe that we are gonna find out a lot more. I think Miss Teresa tried to protect some people because of the situation in our world, and she knew it was just a better way to go sometimes, especially with what we see going on now, um, with George Floyd and them. But anyways, I believe that we'll find out more because she'll get tired of protecting people that he's really didn't care.
Right.
I believe she
Absolutely.
has I don't I believe the hotel was involved 100%. I just believe that there was more to it that's missing in that space of how she got into the
Right.
hands. And yeah, I just think it'll come out because I'm sorry, I go out with my friends. We've been there young till now. And when you're in a group like that, you already know to watch each other's back. You already know somebody has to have each other. And Monifa claims that she was just too drunk to be able to handle
Right.
that, but she didn't seem that drunk. She
Right.
didn't seem out of it in them videos.
No,
They
I
weren't
agree.
there a long time.
I agree.
I thank you for having me on your platform. I
Oh,
wanted to
yes.
say,
Thank you,
I
Majestic.
really appreciate.
I got much love for you. You've been following me on this case, and your dedication and trying to get some answers for yourself. I hear it in your voice, and I'm there with you. You know, we are here because we feel it. We are here still today because we still feel it today. And one of the important things about it that we feel is that, we're never going to let this go because every situation, I don't care what it is, every situation has a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know, and at the same time, too, so does Kendrick Johnson's family. They believe that it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. But when these pieces have been chopped up in between the beginning to the middle, chopped up till the end, and it's manipulated, and we know it, this is what keeps us on the case to make heads or tails out of the things that go on, especially when it comes down to parents missing their kids, you know? And so much love to you for, getting up here and expressing and speaking. I love the sound of your voice. And I hope that you'll come back on my platform again and express anything else that, you feel is important for us to know, because this is the thing that no other content creator is really, focused on. It's hearing your story, but I want to show you more video. It's hearing your story, but I want to show you more of what I got. No, this is about you guys. This is about the subscribers. This is about the content creators working on the case. If I can get you up here, we can talk, and I will give you the mic just the way I have, and you can express yourself. That's what my platform has been about regarding this case. And with that said, Majestic, thank you so much. You will be a moderator. I'm going to convert you to a moderator in my next chat. And
I'm already a moderator.
oh, that's right. Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Thank
That's
you
right. I
again,
knew.
Cole.
Yeah, okay. I'm just double checking. I got to check two devices here, but thank
You
you
got
so
a
much
lot
for
on
your.
your plate.
Yeah, I do. I do. Thank you so much for your love and your sharing tonight. I know that Teresa Martin and her family heard you tonight because they do follow me whenever
That's
I
awesome.
go live. Yeah. So thank you, love.
Thank you, John. Love you, John Q
I love you
family, and
too.
love you, Mama T.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye. And I dropped the link still here. We can do a little extra. I'll do it again just in case you missed it. But my point exactly. This is about something different. Getting justice for Kenneka on YouTube is definitely something different. I'm not even expecting to get justice for Kenneka on YouTube. All I'm trying to do is to keep the information out there long enough, straight enough, direct enough to a point to where if someone on Teresa Martin's team or on the law enforcement team that I'm in touch with says that, yes, this can be used, I'm good. I'm good. But with all the chaos and all the craziness, it's been very hard for them to come back to me to say, well, it's a waste of our time. It's just so much. Where do you get it from? And that's why I've always told content creators to put together a playlist on their channel, and I would let the authorities know where to go. But you know something? 2% have done so. 2%. Since I've spoken about it. 2%. Jackie Dragon's whole channel has got Kenneka Jenkins content on it. So I don't need to tell Jackie Dragon to put his in a playlist because it's already there. Or Boss Blake because his playlist is there. Everybody else, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm saying, okay, I'm trying to make it easy, pull us together, but everybody else is doing something else. And I'm beginning to find out what that something else is. Unfortunately, but that's just the way things go. But thank you, Lady Tia and Majestic, for coming up. Boss Blake, if he's, I guess, still in here, come back up. Anybody who wants to come up, anyone. Watch Out Squad, if you want to come up, share a few words. Lady J, if you want to share a couple of words, that'd be great. Stephanie, Beverly, Mama J, I love the women who's been following this case because, there's a heartfelt situation going on to where, women feel this case. They feel this case. You know why? Because they have children. They have children. I have children. They have children. Most of the people in the chat room have children. And so I said, well, if I can convert my platform into a speaking platform for you, then come on up. It's been a long time overdue for you too. Say what is on your heart. Say what's on your mind, because that's what this whole thing is all about. And if we can be mindful and appreciative that, this doesn't happen to somebody else that shows up on the news, YouTube, Facebook, all this other stuff that we've been dealing with. So anyone who wants to come up, come on. Let's go. Because if we can do that and keep the dialogue going, I believe it'll give Teresa Martin and her family and her attorneys at least a platform, part of a platform that says, well, you know something? There's some people on YouTube that still care. And they're not trying to botch this thing up. They're not trying to fabricate and distort and misdirect and mislead and misinform on YouTube. And she's got the names. Thank God. She's got the names. I'm just so grateful that the name that she's got regarding my channel is one of them, but it's not on the other side of the list that's got a whole bunch of them. And it's good to know that the family does appreciate and accept the work I've done on this case and the people that I have closely associated myself with this case, regardless on any other content creator out there. What they may have said about me, that's fine. Good. I hope it helps. If I'm FBI, I hope it helps. If I'm the Popo, I hope it helps. But we're watching you to see what you do. Now, that's the other side you don't see. So you keep putting it out, and we'll keep watching what you put out. And it only makes sense. Because before long, numbers, your views, your Cash App, whatever you got going is just going to go right to zero. Because if you ain't going to put up and put on the table and get it ready for something better, you're just bullshitting. Okay? Bullshit. And we know who the bullshitters are. So I don't normally take a foul approach to it, but you know something? There's some foul people out there that sometimes you have to take a foul approach to in order to get it. Watch out, squad. If you're still in the room, you can come up and share, a little bit if you want to. 54 Keys, if you're in the room, you can share a little bit. D. Walsh, you can come and share a little bit. Anyone can come up and share. That's what tonight's platform is about on Father's Day, or Father's Eve, Father's Night. This way, it gives us something to work forward from once this live is done. Because once it's done, it's done. So I'd love to have as many of you as you want come up and just share a little bit. Don't have to take but a minute, give or take, and express yourself, express your viewpoint. Finally, someone says, come on up. Oh, wow. Rather than get blocked or booted or deleted or whatever, out of, everybody else's channel. It's crazy, but that's just the way they seem to work. It's just the way they seem to work. So, yeah. Cold Pepsi, how you doing? And thank you so much to Lady Tia, Majestic 716, and everyone, that is in here tonight. IHQ, if you hear me, come on up. If you'd like to express, what your work is on the case, Straight Drop, come up. Especially Straight Drop because he's a veteran. I've always appreciated and admired his work because the brother started from a couch and two cell phones covering the case, and he's still on it today. I don't know about anybody else, but much love to Straight Drop, definitely. So yeah, I'll hold the line open, and anyone that wants to come up, I'll drop the link again. One more time. And express yourself. If you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it? If you've always wanted to say something about the Kenneka Jenkins case objectively and openly, there's a platform right now. You don't have to like me, but know that someone has offered you a platform to say, you know something, I don't like you, John Q. I think you're still a popo in the FBI. But me following the Kenneka Jenkins case, I've always felt this way. And hence, that's my point. That's the whole point of tonight's live. I thought I'd give you something different than showing you pictures and trying to gather evidence in this case in such a way that we've already seen that, go over the narratives, which I can lead you to other content creators that are doing an excellent job. Hell of a Chick's doing an excellent job. You know, Clark Avenue, if you know about Clark Avenue, doing an excellent job. Logical, reasonable, you know. So yeah. So I'll give you all a minute to decide who would like to come up. Express yourself. You can do it. Show Kenneka you can do it. If you've never spoken on a live platform, show Kenneka that you can do it. You know something? I got a couple of words. And come on, and then you can go off. Because it's time. Long overdue, actually. Long overdue. Long overdue. Nobody telling me we're done? Are we done? No, we're not done. We don't have to be. But yeah, my update. The best one I can give you is the best one you're at. We know where we're all at. And the thing I can tell you is that there is no new information on this case other than the court case that's going on, period. Got it? Let me say it again. There is no new information on the Kenneka Jenkins case right now, other than the court case that's going on right now behind closed doors. The last court proceeding was June 16th of this month. As Hell of a Chick showed you in her recent video, that's where they are. Has any decision been made? No, not yet. But that's where we are. We're not still at the 36-hour video footage. We're not still in the freezer. We're not still on anything else on this case other than what's coming in and coming up in current events, because there's just so much on this case that's out there right now, both pro and con. Both pro and con. So it's been good for me because I've been able to follow it and take my time to follow it and know that you know, I can come on and share with you from a perspective of, you know, being an investigator, but as my perspective as to how I look at things, you know, according to, you know, the kind of work that I do. I'm looking at it just the way it is. Teresa Martin is looking at this case the way it is. Everybody in Chicago is looking at this case the way it is. Not September 9th of 2017, but the way it is. The way it is. So with that said, I think I have someone joining us right now. So boop, I think we can have Kenneka on.
Hi, can you hear me, John?
Yeah, I got you now. I'm going to mute
Okay.
up. I'm going to mute up. Thank you, love, for coming on my platform. You know, your support, along with everyone else's love and support, is extremely important. I'm encouraging, you know, everyone to come up. Just come up. Don't sit in the cuts. Come up. I want them to hear my
Well,
voice. You know?
I have been
Yeah.
following your page as well as Malika's on this case ever since I found out about it. I've always been in the background. I don't say too much. As a parent, I have a 11-year-old. She'll be 12 soon. I know how I was. I know what it's like going to parties with your friends. So this case really touched my heart. At times I had to back away because it was just too emotional for me. I stayed up at night, had nightmares, cried. So I just want to give my support and let Miss Teresa know that she does still have support out here and we do understand her pain. And happy Father's Day, John, as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And much love, and I appreciate you, taking a couple of words. That's all it really takes. Just a couple of words, just to let people know, hey, I've been following this case. Hey, I got kids of my own. Hey, I
Yeah,
worry about them too, and I
I
appreciate that.
do. And I understand. So it's hard, but I just pray that everything works out in her favor because she does need answers, just like any other parent. We will want the truth and the answers to what happened to our child.
Right, right. As any parent would, as any parent would, you know. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, much love to you, and for coming up and sharing that, because you're letting the chat room, you're letting YouTube, you're letting the internet know that there are people not just following the case and writing little things in a chat room and stuff like that. You're a real person. You're feeling something that's real. You've
Yeah,
been through something, that's real, and you're willing to share what that means to you, and that's what this is all about.
absolutely. And I appreciate this because this, like you said, this is the first time that I've been on anybody's live that they've just had an open discussion with the subscribers themselves.
Right. I wanted to
So
do this. I wanted to do this a long time ago. I didn't know, at the time, that I could, because I was involved in just the details of the case. And then I said, once I get free from doing the series, then I can expand, myself, and start to, talk to the subscribers that have been uh, uh, hooking up to my channel. And so I said the best way to do that at the end of it is to bring them on, bring them up, let them speak. You guys have been out there so long that no one is giving you a chance to speak because you're too busy being blocked or deleted or whatever from the chat room. And it's not fair. It isn't.
right.
I've been to people's chat room and they boot John Q. They boot me because I'm the Fed. I'm the Fed. I'm the
Yeah,
cop.
I did hear that. And I was
Yeah,
like
yeah. You
T
know,
said earlier, well, if that's the case, at least you have someone in law enforcement that can look at this and, your voice will be even more instrumental in getting and helping get her justice than anything else. So I really didn't see what was the point of that, but I I mean, I
I didn't
guess
either.
it worked in their favor, but for me at that point, I was like, okay, I'll just move on. And I
Yeah.
never went back. I don't even remember who channel it was. That's how many people I've tried to listen to follow the case, but mainly I just listen to you and Malika.
No, I appreciate that, and I know Malika appreciate your love and support. We're very tight. We talk constantly during the week. If it's not about the Kenneka Jenkins case, she's always talking about a different case and stuff like that. And we're going back and forth, and she's just been so supportive of my channel, only because I've come from her channel and she's helped me to grow to do what I do. today. So much love to Malika. She's in the room. And thank you so much for, jumping up here and sharing the most important moment in this case right now is what you have to say. And I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. Happy Father's Day to you and all the fathers that's out there, especially that's in the chat or that may be listening.
You got it. You
Bye.
got it. Well, thank you. Thank you, Tanika.
You're welcome.
I love.
Bye.
Bye. I think we have somebody else, if I can get them up here. I've been trying anyway, but it doesn't look like they're showing up. If you could try again, whoever that was, Jaden Lyons. Jaden, if you can try again, maybe I can grab you because it just says device is not connected. So on my end, I can't pull you up. You seem to be still there, but okay. The guests will need to connect the mic before you can add them to the stream. So Jaden, if you hear me, connect your mic before I can add you to the stream, and maybe I can get you, pick you up. I see that you've been trying to get up here, but I can't pull you up without that. And so, yeah, Tanika, thank you, love, so much for blessing my platform with your voice and your love and your care about what everything. Everything we're doing is for that forward motion in this case. All right, so we have somebody here. Let's see who this is. All right. And we have Linda Truman.
Hi, John.
Hey, Linda, how are
And
you?
how are you? Happy Father's
I
Day.
am doing good.
God bless and happy Father's Day to all the kings in the house.
Yes, and
I'm on this
thank you so
side. I
much.
got the Flintstones pointing at my camera because I'm very relaxed. You know, I started following you from Malika. I remember when Malika, she was Malika the warrior, I believe, at that time. When she gathered you and she nurtured you and she asked you to be on her show and you agreed. And I remember that. And I love all your content. See, the thing with me, let me say this first. The thing with me, I followed this case about 3 weeks into it. And my thought process, John, with no disrespect to no one, everybody have a story to tell. There's a truth and a lie. And all those content creators that was lying, they had a little bit of truth. And that's just my thought process. I was accused of many things. Am I still on? What happened?
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Oh,
Keep talking.
I
Keep
was
talking.
accused of
You're doing
many,
good.
many
We're
things.
just listening. You're
Thank
good.
you.
You're good.
I was
Go ahead, love.
accused of, and I'm not a traveler. I'm afraid to travel. I'm 62 years old. My traveling days, I don't like it no more. I was accused of being part of the 50 Gmails. I was accused of being part of the killers, and that really hurted my feelings. But it was hilarious, just as much as it was hilarious and sad for me to hear that John Q is an FBI agent. And once I saw that, I immediately got on your channel, I believe. And I made a statement about it, not to belittle you, not to talk down on you, but just the fact that it was sad for someone to say that. I have the utmost respect for you, John. And Kenneka is one beautiful young lady, one beautiful queen, one beautiful little princess, as said, give it time, to have been in a situation as the such. And I beckon and I beckon and I beckon that people will just, just tell the truth. So, in all, I used to follow just everybody. And I had to break my following down to 10 people. Always Malika was on my list. Then you was on my list, and I'm not going to do no more name calling, but there are some people that I actually had followed that took me in the wrong direction. Within 3 months, I had to eliminate them because I began to just listen to you. I began to just listen to Malika, and I began to hear other people's, which I felt was really, really true. The ones that you had named out and say, here are some content creators. Go check out their channel. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I actually did that. And I found it to be spiritually fit for me. See, those other content creators, they got a lot of people killed, and it was just disgusting. And within this case, I began to stop monitoring and listening to things that was happening on the west side. And a lot of things was happening on the west side of Chicago, to where that a lot of people was getting killed on the west side in those areas that the kids had came up in and whatnot. I feel so sorry for Miss Teresa. I really do. Sometimes it's hard to understand this. Sometimes it's not hard to understand this. But I understand it when it's spoken truthfully. And I want to say thank you for your conviction, John. Thank you for your conviction, Malika. Thank you, 54 Keys. I love her to death. Thank you all, truthful content creators that has put all your all into this case for Kenneka Jenkins and Teresa Martin and for us. Whether you the FBI or not, we all was growing up to be a police officer, a firefighter, a teacher, a doctor, or something. So what? Get with the program and tell the truth. So with that being said, John, I'm kind of
Right.
nervous. I don't like to talk much. This is my first time ever doing this.
You're
And
doing good, Linda.
the last
Yeah.
but least that ever got me into this case, when it just really tore me apart, I made a donation. And from that
Yeah.
donation, I learned something. I say I would never do it again. I say never will
And
I donate again. And that's the sad part, because it's not
yeah,
about who you could trust. It's your money. You trust yourself with your own money. When you deliver that
right,
money,
right.
it's just a simple, you don't even have to say thank you. It's just the appreciation. But to come back and say, oh, that little chump change, that went, I said, okay. I said, that hurt my feelings too. So I
Well,
don't donate no more. I know I'll get over it in time, but I work too hard for my money. My money is my retirement.
yeah, we all do.
And I
We
don't
all
mind
do.
sharing a blessing. I don't mind sharing a blessing, but it's always said there's a bad seed in every apple.
Well,
There's a bad
Linda, I have
seed
to
in
say,
every apple.
yeah, Linda, I have to say, I've been in a number of chat rooms, and I think you know which ones I have been into. And you know how I've been treated. They don't want to listen to John Q. I can't ask questions just like all the women and all the men that come to their chat rooms that want to get some answers. That's what it's been all about anyway. And it's sad that you're being manipulated to just listen and not interact with
Yes.
who's putting out the information, you
Okay.
know? So
Mhm.
I appreciate you, Linda, and you and I will hook up. You may see me in different chat rooms, whatever, but I'm on the side because I don't trust every content creator, and neither
Exactly.
does any of my subscribers like you. But much love to you. Thank you so much for sharing on Father's Day with me, and we'll hook up. Okay, love.
Much love to you as well, John, and thank you for having me. Everyone
Got
have
it.
a blessed evening. I'll have
Okay.
to thank you. Bye bye.
Okay,
How
so
long did you
thank
go?
you so much. Wow, just disconnect, and I think we have up. Oh my goodness, beautiful DeWalsh and Lady J is in our platform. Hello,
Hi.
ladies. Yeah,
Hi.
say hello. Say hello.
Go for the
Hello.
low.
Hello.
Hi there.
All right,
Hi.
so we're gonna
What's
do this.
wrong with
We're
here?
gonna do this one, yeah, one at a time. And
It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna put Lady J on. Yeah, I'm gonna put Lady J on mute and let DeWalsh go ahead and make her comment.
Okay.
DeWalsh has
Well,
been following me, that's for sure.
yeah, I follow you a
Much love
lot.
to you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna call in. I was just following you. So, baby lad 12, I think it was. She asked me. She asked a question and I answered it. And so Majestic wanted me to call in. I think the question was the guy in the gray hoodie. Who was he? And I answered her question, and I think the guy was Kanika's friend. He pulled the fire alarm when they were looking for her. And so they said that she thought that Lenore pulled the fire alarm, but Miss T answered that on the radio station when she was on 107.7, I believe it was, in Chicago. And she said that it was Kanika's friend in the gray hoodie that pulled the fire alarm when they were looking for her. And so that's who that was that pulled that fire alarm. And then I have a question as well. Um, the manager, Lenny, um, I don't
Yes.
I'm really I'm really torn with that as to when he walked in that freezer to find Kenneka. Um it was like I don't know if is it me that he went in there really fast and he turned around and he came right out and said he found her, but yet the police officer went in there and he had to turn on the flashlight to go in there and find her. And he said that initially when he walked in that freezer he didn't see her. He didn't see her
Right.
until he turned on the flashlight. But yet Lenny said
Right.
he went in there and he used the flashlight on his keychain to find her, to even see her. But yet he had to go in the freezer to walk in, in the cooler to walk in the freezer to see her. So it doesn't make sense
Right.
to me.
Right.
So, I'm like,
No, it
make it
doesn't.
make sense,
Right.
you know?
Absolutely. For an assistant beverage manager like Lenny to casually walk into the upper kitchen, as we saw him on video surveillance footage, and find Kenneka the way he did, all you got to do is look at how he found Kenneka.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't searching. The whole
Right,
thing is searching for someone. He wasn't searching. He knew where she was.
right,
He
right.
knew where she was already. Yeah. And that's what we see on video surveillance footage.
Mm-hmm.
And to have one police officer, PSO Walsh, be the only one on location and on that spot to go with him to officially, under police order, find Kenneka, I find that very strange. I've always
Right,
found that strange. Yeah.
right, right,
And
right.
so, when you want to tie in friendships, memberships, alumni, you know what I'm talking about,
Exactly.
brotherhood.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I
Can you
couldn't
hear me
hear
now?
you at first.
Can you hear me now? Can you
Yes,
hear me
I can
now?
hear you. I
Like
can hear you
Denzel
now. Yes,
Washington said
yes,
in Out of Time, can you hear me now? Before he
yes, I
stepped
can.
on that phone.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
So,
yes. That's
yeah,
also with Brotherhood.
if you have a connection with the Brotherhood or something like that, that they may have ties into, yeah, you're going to have the hotel connected to the Rosemont Police Department,
Hmm.
to uh, corroborate and help each other. It's like anyone in your family, you know,
Yes.
something happened, I need your back, can you cover me, kind of thing.
Right. Right.
Okay, and
Right.
that's what we saw. That's exactly what we saw on video surveillance footage, you know.
It's
Yeah,
it's sad. It is. It's just really sad that it's taken this long
it is.
for for this child to find justice. And I guess that I'm so invested in it because my sister was did she was done the exact same way. Only thing is she wasn't raped, but she was murdered by her
Okay,
friends the exact same way. And it's been it'll be 6 years this year in October. The
right.
exact same way. She was drugged and left for dead. And they brought her back to her house and left her dead. Yeah, the exact same way, just
Hmm,
about. Is just that she wasn't raped. Thank God.
right.
But so I'm just so invested in that, and this is why, and it's sad, and then for people to say that Mama T don't show any emotion, my mother, she was the same way. It's hard for them to show any emotion when they're trying to get justice.
Right.
And then for people to sit up there and say that that she was involved, how rude and how senseless does that sound? you know
It is.
you,
You're
you know
absolutely right. It
you know and
is. It's
and
very
people,
senseless.
yeah, it is. And and I look at my mom and I
Yeah,
see how strong she was for my sister. And I look at Mama
right,
T and I feel the same way, that I felt for my mom toward her, because I look at that,
right.
and my mother is still going through this, getting justice for my sister, and it's been almost
I'm
6 years.
I am
Yeah.
so very sorry for you.
Thank
My
you.
heart
You
goes
know,
out to you.
Thank you.
Walsh,
Yeah.
I've been looking at your name in my chat room for quite a number of lives. I appreciate your support. You've always shown me love. You've always made a very strong comment on my video post, and it always made me think, as to what I need to look at next, what I haven't covered,
Yeah.
who haven't I talked to, and I appreciate your support. I appreciate your
Thank
love,
you.
and most definitely, you've blessed my platform tonight, 2020, this year, and I intend to continue to do this in support of not only the work I'm doing, but the work that the subscribers,
Right.
are watching, that want this thing done, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
much love to you. You are
Thank you.
gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, well, thank
And
you.
God's grace upon you, lovely. God's
Thank
grace
you.
upon you. I have three
Thank you.
daughters,
Thank you.
and
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna let
I know two of the
go ahead,
three
Lady J. Go ahead.
feel the exact way that you do. I know this.
Yeah.
See, I had grandmas. I had grandmas. I had two grandmas. My mom was like 13 when she gave birth to me,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's my mom. She's not my friend, though she wants to be. She's
Mm-hmm.
not my friend. I love my daughters with my life. And so I'm learning how to live for me right now,
Yes.
right? So I understand where you're coming from, lovely. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. And don't
So,
worry.
Lady
Peace be still.
Lady J,
Appreciate it.
was there
Thank you.
was there something that you jumped up on here you wanted me to hear? Tell me.
Yeah, otherwise I would be sleeping right now. I got driving to do in the
Oh,
morning. So
okay.
I just wanted to commend her and I wanted for her to know that, that her heart rests assured. You're
Thank
okay.
Right.
you. Thank
You're
you.
okay.
Thank
God
you.
got you, girl.
Wow.
Thank you.
And
Love you for
where
that.
you're to be, yeah, where you're to be, everybody is not supposed to. Don't worry. I promise you. Don't worry. Don't worry for nothing.
Thank
God
you.
got you. I
Thank you.
promise you that.
Thank
And
you
so
so
yeah,
much.
you John
Much love
too.
to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you,
You're
much
John.
love
you're
to you,
fine.
ladies.
Thank you, John,
definitely
too, as
for
well.
joining tonight's platform and expressing yourself. That's what this is all about. If we
Hmm.
can't
Yeah.
do this, about it. If we can't do this, then what is everybody else doing?
Right.
What are they doing? They're
Want
telling
alone to
you
get
a
along
story,
or
right?
something.
They're telling you a story, their
Something.
story. But I want to
Their
hear your
story.
story.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Lady
want to
their
J.
hear your
story.
story.
But we all have a
We're the ones
story.
who went through this. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're
We
the
all have
ones
a
who went
story.
through the same
Yeah.
almost 3 years that it
Yeah.
took to find out all this information.
And your
And if we
story
can't
just may
interact with each
edify.
other,
Hmm.
right? If we can't interact with each other to pull together the rest of the story as it unfolded amongst us all, then who's telling a story? You see? Who's telling a story?
Right.
We can't just get it from one source like on TV, like we've been
Hmm.
getting it. We have to get it from every single witness of the case. And you guys, like
My
me, are witnesses of the
Hmm.
case.
my
Your research
first
is different than mine. Your
my
viewpoint is
first
different than
John,
mine. Yeah,
you pulled me
absolutely.
out. You pulled me out.
Absolutely.
I never would do
Absolutely.
something like this.
You
I
know,
never would. I'm Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Williams, John.
okay.
So you're
Lorraine,
okay,
thank you.
Ladybug.
DeWalsh, thank you,
Hmm.
ladies.
Yeah.
I
You're
want to try
welcome.
to let Jaden Lyons been trying to get into the chat room.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you so much, you
Actually on the
guys.
platform.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and we'll connect.
You're
Stay
Okay.
fine,
connected
sweetie.
with me,
You're
and
fine.
I will connect with you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. I love.
Me or Jaden?
Okay. No,
Jaden,
you're
go.
still on, Lady J. You're still on. I want you to stay there.
I
Jaden.
am.
Yes.
Yeah. You hear us?
Can you hear me?
Okay, you're on. Thank you, love.
I, how you doing, John? All right. Much love, everybody. I have a few questions. So, like in Irene's video, there's in the background there's Monifa, and she's like looking like she's stabbing or beating somebody. And I know there's a whole lot of craziness going on, and you can barely hear or really focus. But if you pay attention, she smiles for a quick minute in between Bree and Irene, and then all of a sudden her hand goes up, and it looks like something's in her hand. Now I've been following Trey Gang, and he's got or yeah, Trey Gang. He's got a few videos, and one of them there's a knife in Kanika's hand where she's in the lower level, and it's right before she goes into the men's bathroom. So, and then like with the overlapped images, could that be where Shemaya and Monifa was coming down the steps, and they had the overlapped images of where they try to pretend as that to be Kanika? And then I've been following other people where they got the Ty's girlfriend or whatever, the one that was in the purple vest, where she looks like she's the one that's probably walking around and imitating Kanika in these reenactments or whatever. Like, and then the other girl that also died there, she's got the same shoes as Kanika. So, and at the same time, she got that wider body. And but I'm just saying, like, all signs point to Monifa. That was her girl. That was her, right hand man. You feel me? Like, I just don't understand.
Now I hear where you're coming from, Jaden. The thing in my investigation, outside of everyone else's, is that when I look at video surveillance footage, when I have read the narratives, when I have covered the crime scene photographs myself, I'm going to only give you my observation and my perspective as to what I see and believe may have happened to Kanika. Mind you, I'm giving you my opinion.
Correct.
I have not been there. I have not been there on the crime scene verbatim. No one has been there on the crime scene verbatim to be telling anyone that this is a fact
Right,
at
but they
all.
got they
At
do have
all.
a
Right, but they have a lot of witness
Right.
statements, and they got a lot of
No,
witness
no, no,
statements
no,
that
no. I'm just saying. I don't care what the witness statements say. We know what the witness statements are because they're different from one another. But yet,
correct.
everyone, everyone was away from Kenneka during that time.
No, there was a macho witness statement that came up actually where he
No,
told everything,
that was done by somebody else. Unfortunately, that was
and
proven to be done by somebody else.
even though it came up
That-
like a month after it happened.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And,
It
wow.
it wasn't validated by the Rosemont Police Department, and we found out the validation came from a YouTuber that kind of conjured up something and wanted to present it just to keep the case flowing on their channel. That's it. That's it.
Well, what about
Now,
the
since
people
you,
that's okay? Go ahead,
yeah,
John.
now, okay. Now, since you brought that up, anyone that believes in a narrative, and this is very important, a written statement that has been made in this case that is outside of the Rosemont Police Department's investigation on their website in their case files, you should take it with a grain of salt.
That's salt.
And this is very important
Mhm.
because we are almost 3 years into this case, and
Mhm.
anyone could have studied this case long enough and watched the videotape long enough and read the narratives long enough to begin to misdirect this case in a way to where we didn't see anything, anything as
But
to
that
what
they
was coming.
wanted you to
Okay?
see.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Okay. So I am not saying, what I am saying is this: I go by the facts, and the facts is on the website. It is not by an outside security
But we've
officer,
already said, I'm
not
sorry,
by
but we already
a
said
coach.
that the police was against us. We
Right.
already
I'm just
said
saying.
they're not going to put
Right.
everything out there as the truth anyway, and a lot of stuff
No,
has been taken down.
no, no,
Right.
no,
Okay. And since you said that, that makes sense. So if that same person or same entity thought the same way you did, then why not create something new from it? You know,
Exactly, and they're
since
not. They're not.
the
So it can. I mean, that would be more sense as to why it's real.
right,
but you stand on
okay.
what you believe and
So
what you
so
see.
I look for the validation, and I tried to go live 2 times this week,
Uh-huh.
past week, and the name of my live was what validates the truth in this case, fact or fiction. That was the name of my original live. Okay. And I said to myself, as everybody else has, you know, when evidence comes up that's not verified, not corroborated, not substantiated, not backed up by anything that supports it, you have to question it. You feel where I'm coming
I
from?
feel you. I feel you.
Okay, so anybody, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can write
Right.
up whatever I want on this case right now from what I know about it. And I can
Okay.
throw it out there like somebody gave it to me, somebody sent it to me. It was a post, it was an email. I can't show you where or when or why, but it's real.
Okay.
I can tell you it's real because somebody sent it to me.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
if you have that as a narrative, you can't go off that because everyone knows, everyone knows. Police detective investigation doesn't operate off of that information. Everybody knows that.
That's right.
Everybody knows that. So if you get a letter, you get a comment, you get a post, okay, there's no valid proof to substantiate that this person wrote it because they're not backing it up. They're
At
not
least John Q's
substantiating it.
narrative.
There's no
His information.
corroborating witness to go to court to back it up. So whatever's out there is out there, just like everything else is out there. And that makes
Okay.
sense. That makes sense. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. But
Well,
good
again,
question. Good
back to
question. I'm
Monifa.
glad you brought it up.
Thank you. Back to Monifa. Thank you. Back to Monifa though with the Irene's live, and then how she was running around the motel. And she's throwing things. She's creeping inside. She's doing what she's doing, and then we got the white girl that's following her around. Like, I mean, it's not following her around, but she's going the same pace, the same places, and the same routes, the same as Shemai and Monifa, as if she's and then I watched a video where she's standing at the front counter with her son, and you see Kenneka come through the door, and then all of a sudden she gets disappears. But then she comes when she
Okay.
comes through that door, she's got like blood on her. Like, is she a suspect? Like, could she possibly did something? Or was Monifa in
Okay.
like this initiation with the gang, and Irene knew it, and that's why it went live because they said it was on video. That's the only videos there really is that's true.
Okay. So let me ask you this: where did you get that information from?
Oh my God.
It was back in 2018 when I first got on the case and I seen it
Okay.
and I
All
heard
right.
of it.
Do you remember what channel or on YouTube, Facebook, or anything else like that? Where did you get the information from?
It was it was so many channels, and I mean a lot of the people are still here today. You know, it's hard to tell. Like, I really, honestly, I
Okay.
can't.
And there you
I
go.
don't know.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm saying. If it's hard to tell, you can't count on it. If it's hard to tell, you cannot count on it to be factual until you check it. Until you check it. It's a great question.
Fact
You
check.
brought up a valid point,
Fact
but if
check.
it's hard to tell where you got it from, or
I
who's
mean, I can't
corroborating,
remember. Honestly, I just can't remember. It's
that's
not hard
okay.
to tell. I can't remember,
Yeah.
more or less.
No, that's okay.
Mm.
That's all right. And after 3 years, who can remember how this whole damn thing started, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just sad that a girl goes to a party with her friends, and no matter if it's gang related, if the motel came up on it, if it's a cover up, however it happened, this girl shouldn't have had to get beat. She shouldn't have had to got raped. She shouldn't have got murdered,
Right.
whatever the case may be. And I'm sorry for Teresa Martin. I'm sorry for her family.
No,
I
it's
just
okay.
I just wanted to come on
It's
and
okay.
speak my little thought on it. Like I said, the Irene video, if you can check it out, John, I appreciate it. With Monifa, like I
Right.
said, it looks like she's doing something. You hear briefly talk about we got two girls, and like I don't know, and then Lenore, not Lenore, but the other girl that came up missing, or I think she might have got murdered
Right.
that night too. She was in that live on Ty's live. Like, and the lives go back and forth between DoubleTree and Crown Plaza, but at the same time, DoubleTree has nothing to do with it. Where are they at in this case?
Yeah, but at the same time, and I'm listening to you carefully. At the same time, you have to say, let me give you the attorney crown. I'm going to give you're my attorney. You're Teresa Martin's attorney right now, Katie. Okay? And
Uh
all you have is facts, right?
huh.
Anything you don't have, you can't give to the judge to make a judgment call on. Correct?
Uh huh.
Okay, so now stay with that. Keep your crown. I want you to go forward with the case. Go
Yes,
back over
ma'am.
what you just told me and say, I'm the attorney for Teresa Martin, and I need to double check this information before I bring it to the judge. Now, your question is, do I bring it to the judge or not? That's it. That's it. Because if the judge deems it as insufficient information in a court trial, they're going to throw it out. They're going to throw it out. So the best way you can find out is to double check it, make sure that my sources say this, and where I got this information said this, and I can back it up with this, and it seems like it falls in a row, and you can use it in court. That's all. because that's what the case is all really all about, you know. But I'm gonna let Lady J
Yeah.
make her comment because she came on,
Past
and
my bedtime.
I
And
I
I'm gonna
appreciate
have to
you
catch
coming
y'all
on.
later
Mm.
too because my phone is dying.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
so sorry.
you women know more than us guys when it comes to the case. Okay, you
Yeah.
women know more
I'm
than us
sorry. I
guys in the
love
case.
y'all.
We have to listen to you
I
guys.
love you
We have
all. I
to
love you,
listen
Okay,
to you.
Teresa. I'm
Jay.
sorry.
Take
Much
care,
love,
Jay.
Kenneka. Justice for Kenneka. I love you all.
Yeah. Justice for
Yes,
Kanika.
and much love to you, Jaden. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Yeah.
I listen to women. I listen to every single woman that's been on this case because I've
That's
learned far more from a woman than a man. Because the man, I know
that's what
the agenda. The women are down into it. So I appreciate that.
maybe
Thank you so much.
that's why I like you so much. Before you ever said anything. That's why I like you, John Q. Maybe my intuitiveness knew that about you, that you know how to just be quiet and listen, because I don't talk a lot, right? Can you hear me? John.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay,
You're
you can
doing
hear me.
good.
Okay.
When
No,
I give the
really,
mic
really. Hmm.
and platform over to you, I mute my mic so everyone can hear you carefully. So, yeah, much love to you.
Thank
You got the
God.
mic. Say what you want to say because I know you've been up here waiting for quite a little bit. So I'm going to give you the mic and give you the platform. You now have John Q's platform at your disposal. Miss Lady J, say what you need to say.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you. So I got John Q's platform. And so, however, um, I am probably, yeah, I am a bit older than what I look right now. The oldest daughter will be 33 soon. The 30-year old will be 31 June 21st. And then I have a scholar. I have a scholar that's in grad school. She's 25. She will be 26 in October. And so when this situation with Kanika happened, I had already been policing and not living my own life for the oldest daughter. Right? My daughters tend to fear me. My daughters tend to fear me. They call me some kind of black witch or some crazy stuff. I am neither or. Um, just that life and from where I come from, that my mom was 12 years old when she gave birth to me.
Lady J, let me
My
ask you this. How old
yes,
are your
yes.
daughters right now? How old are your daughters?
My daughters are 32, soon to be 31, and
Okay.
soon to be 26.
26. Okay.
And yeah, I will be 56 in
Okay.
September.
Okay. And
Yeah.
and and when you relate, I guess you being a mom and a parent to the Kenneka Jenkins case, what is it that comes through your mind? I mean, how is it,
What is it
did
that
you think
comes through
about
my
the
mind?
case?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I don't mean to
Yeah.
cut you off, John Q. But listen at this, though, right? I know I had praying grandmas. My grandmas prayed for me, right? And so I've already rubbed elbows. I'm a truck driver by choice. I didn't know that this is what I was going to be doing, right? And so with Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank, I opened the first Home Depot. I opened the first, second, third, fourth, even here in St. Louis. Well, back in Florida. And if somehow that guy ever sees my face, he knows I'm not lying that when he stole my deal, after creating some scenarios and situations for the Home Depot and diversifying to and better services for. However, yeah, he lost his job. So
Right.
because I was so
So
busy, I was
how
yeah.
was it
I'm
how
listening
was
to
it
you,
that how was it that you came across this Kenneka Jenkins case? I
Kanika,
mean, you know, yeah.
Malika, Kanika, Kanika, Kanika. Okay,
So
I heard of Kanika.
you found out
Listen,
about this case through Malika when she first got
listen,
started with it?
listen. And so I had run across. I'm supposing that Malika's platform had gotten to the part that it would be a suggestion up on YouTube. Um, and so I'm nearly 56, right? So um, all this like modern day technology and I'll call it crap. It's crap to me. I never had time for it, but I had to take time with because my daughters had began to be in tuned. And so Malika was suggested upon YouTube. And then I learned about Kanika, but I was coming in and out of Chicago, right? 54 keys. Um, I was intrigued. She gained my curiosity, and so I started looking into this. And so then Malika again, and then you, John Q. John
Okay.
Q.
And that's a great
I was there. I was there. You didn't know. I was right there. I was right there
no,
every
it
night
sounds like you were
in
because, you
tune.
know, if
I
it
was
sounds
right
like you were
there.
because if Malika was there,
OMG. I was
so
right
was
there with
I.
you, Malika, and several others. I was right
Yeah.
there. I remember when
Yep.
you and Malika became acquainted. I was right there already. And
Yeah,
so,
and she
what
invited me on
happened
her
was,
platform. Yep.
yes, she did. And so, what happened was, I was in Chicago, and I will tell you, 2.5 years ago, I was in Chicago. And the company I was driving with, I'm a truck driver, John Q. I'm an owner out now. I didn't know that is what I was going to do, but I was selling too much. You hear me? I was selling too much. I know so much and I
Yeah.
was giving it all away. And I thought
Okay.
that if I got on a truck, I could create something for myself. I didn't know that my creation was going to be what I'm doing right now. So
Right.
I was
So
pulling tomatoes for Hub Group. I wound up in Chicago, and so I'm already in tune with Malika. I know who John Q is. I am in tune with 54 Keys and several of the others, right?
right.
This
So
is
let me
so
ask you
deep.
this. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this, lovely.
Okay.
Um, what you know, where are you right now with the case? I mean, how do you feel about it after almost 3 years now? We've been all following the case, trying to get
Where
out
am
the
I now?
facts.
Where
Yeah,
am I now?
where do
Where
you
am I
feel
now?
that you are right now? Yeah,
I
with the
am
case.
right now before Zach. I am right now before Zach and then Zach. That's where I am right now. You remember the gold, the tan van? I'm not going to say a whole lot more. Just go back to that part. All right? Go back to that part. Go back to that guy that was at that party, and Zach was there too. Go back to that part. The guy that was out of New York, I don't know where he was from, California or wherever he was. Just go back to the gold, the van, the tan. Go back to the van. Please go back to the van.
Right,
Right? Go
right.
back to the van. Go back to that van. Go back to that van. Go back to that van. You hear
Okay.
what I'm saying? That's where I am
Yeah,
right
no, I
now.
got you. I got you.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
the the hardest part that I found, uh, you know, investigating this case, you know, was not so much the video surveillance footage. wasn't the photos, it wasn't the narratives. The hardest part was the gaps in between the communications that we should have found out about, whether it be from Teresa Martin or from the family, from the media, from the Rosemont Police Department to the hotel to the the coroner's office, uh,
Okay.
let me down.
I hear
You know,
all of that.
the,
Listen,
yeah,
listen
the
to me.
coroner's office really
Listen
let
to
me
me right
down
now, John. Listen, listen. It's
only
okay.
because,
Listen right now.
yeah,
Our children can be tricky. You understand me?
say
They
again,
don't know. Our children can be tricky.
right?
The demise is upon themselves and they have no idea. You understand what I'm saying to you right now? Our children can be a source of their own demise.
Yeah, they can. You're right.
Okay?
I agree. I agree.
Okay, listen, listen,
Yep.
listen right now, right? And so, for what we probably don't know, we always have, especially that one child. We always, that child may not ever have been a problem, or, but if we don't know our children, we learn our children through our children's friends. You
Yep.
understand me?
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's how we know who our children are.
Right.
We know those
But
friends.
but you
All
know
right.
something, Lady J? I
Yes, sir. Yes,
appreciate
sir.
I appreciate your
I'll let you
time,
go.
your love,
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
dedication to this case, coming on board and speaking and expressing yourself. I have somebody else coming behind you, so I just want to give them the
It's okay.
opportunity
I
to,
just wanted
yeah.
to say what I needed to say, and then I'm going to bed. I'm about an hour behind right now. I should have been in
Okay.
bed at 9. And so, but John Q, I follow you. I
Thank
don't
you so
speak a
much,
lot.
love.
Yeah, I try and stay. I don't try, but I'm just in the background. Life is
And
busy right now. And so
yeah.
blessings to you and justice for Kanika.
Yes,
Justice
and thank
for
you. And
Kanika.
blessings to you and your
Malika.
family, where you
Yeah,
are. And
yeah,
stay safe,
yeah.
you know,
Yep,
and
yep, I
we'll
will.
connect. We'll connect, love.
Alrighty.
We'll connect.
Be in touch with me, okay?
Okay,
Alrighty.
I will.
Okay, I thank you. Thank you for your
You're
time.
welcome.
Alrighty. Good
I
night. Good night.
Good night. All right. Thank you, Lady J, for blessing our platform, along with every single person that decided to step up. This is your turn to step up. And that's why I'm going to do it one more time. And then, if not, we will conclude the live. I want your voice to be heard on this case and where you think it is, where it should go, what you believe the outcome should be, because that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. So for Lisa Reeves, Cole Pepsi, Majestic, thank you so much for coming up. Chi-Town, Fit Queen, thank you so much for coming up. Lady J, thank you so much for coming up. There should be a whole lot more people up in here coming up because now you have a platform to where you can come up and express yourself about your thoughts about the case. And it's all good. It's all good. So hopefully tonight I always aim to shoot at a goal. And when I get there, I'm going to stay on the goal until it's accomplished. I feel maybe a little way that I've done that tonight by coming on. Like I said, I don't come on all the time. I'm not an every dayer, every other dayer, every 3 days, every 2 days, uh, e- every week, hell. But just enough for you to realize that this case is real. We still have things going on. There is still a forward motion to justice. And if there's any contribution, as I said before in my past lives, that I can give to you, we are moving forward on it right now. So if nobody else wants to come up, okay. Um, Much love to I send out to Amp Easy for working as hard as he does, and I'm sure that I'll connect up with him, and we'll be able to have him on board, give you the update that he comes across in his investigation, as well as other content creators and subscribers like you that's been following this case. And you got just a few things you want to say. I'm going to let you say it. Now that you know, and guess what? You know where to go. So at least you know where to go. Because, like I said, enough is enough of the rodeo, the merry-go-round, the in and out about the same stuff. There's no conclusive evidence that's going to lead us to a finality on this case on the internet. Now, you heard it from me. There's nothing out here, whether it be on the Rosemont Public Safety website, Crown Plaza, Chicago Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. I've covered all that information with you as best as I could on my series. So there's no new information. Nobody's getting caught doing anything on videotape that we don't know about. There isn't. No content creator is going to show you they are the killers. Period. End of story. Because no one is going to self-incriminate themselves to do so. It don't take rocket science. No one is going to self-incriminate themselves to do so. Why would they? Oh, I killed Kenneka. I'm sorry. Sorry you missed me on the video surveillance footage, but the hotel edited everything that I was in. Anyway, oh, so with that said, I see that nobody else is coming up, and that's fine. But much love to every single one who participated in tonight's chat. Much love to every single one that came up and expressed themselves on this case. I'm going to continue to do live open discussion platforms on my channel so that we can move forward, because I'm watching the case as it is in court. And I do, like I said before, have a family tie-in to give me that information to let me know what's going on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cold Pepsi, why haven't you come up? As long as you've known me, you haven't come up yet. Lisa Reeves, A44 Girl for Life. But to my moderators for moderating tonight and keeping the chat nice and tight, thank you so much. I got so much love for you guys, and I only select maybe 2 or 3 as moderators, because you don't need 100. You don't need 100 moderators in a chat room. Just a couple. Keep things straight, you know. Let people know what's going on. Educate them. I don't have a, Patreon and all this other stuff going on, so you won't see Nightbot in my channel at all. But for everyone else that's hung out tonight, thank you so much. This is my Father's Day live that I wanted to do. I got so much that I want to, reveal, but I'm still working on it. I'd love to say this and know that it's a solid rock, but I'm still checking it out. And that's the way I've always been. Ask Malika. She knows me. I've always been that way. Don don't put nothing out until he double, triple checks it. It's just him. He's not going to go on until he knows for sure. And, much love goes out to her. Her name was mentioned in and out this live tonight, and I give her plenty of props, for being there for me and there for Kenneka and bringing me up at the whole, at the same time. Malika's been extraordinary. She's a fabulous woman. If you get to know her, not the YouTube Malika, but the real Malika, that's a different woman. And like I said, much love to her and her family. Thank you so much for, giving me, sharing with me the guiding light that somebody believed in me in to do what I do and to bring what I bring to you the way I do and in the way I do, that tells me that God's got my back, because I have children too. And they're young, but I got children too. And anyone as a parent that's going through maybe some adolescent stuff or, some young adult stuff or whatever, don't tell them what to do. Ask them questions about what they're doing. And I guarantee you help them to think. And I think that'll go a whole lot further than, the belt and whipping we used to get kids. I used to get that. I mean, it worked like a charm, but, asking questions, far better outweighs anything than telling someone what they should do, because they don't listen. Now they won't, because the TV is telling them not to listen anymore. So we have to ask questions. And if we ask the right questions, we help them to think. The stuff upstairs in the physical, realm does work. And that's the thing that we pray on. That's the thing we ask God for guidance on. Don't give me a statement to tell them something. Give me a question to ask them. And that makes more sense than anything else. If we ask the right questions, we'll get the right answers. If we're not asking questions, then we get stories just like the ones we got when Kenneka Jenkins came up. Same one. Same one. So we have a choice. We all do. Anyway, folks, everybody that showed up in tonight's chat, much love to you. My heart and prayers go out to everyone. Happy Father's Day once again to all the men, and happy Mother's Day to all the women, because it's Father's Day, it's Mother's Day to me. And you keep that family unit nice, tight, and right, it'll stay that way. But it just takes a moment to ask the right questions, be at the right place at the right time. Don't take no for an answer and stand your ground. Bullshit's out there. We all know it. We got to cut past it. And with that said, as I've always said, be well, stay blessed with Godspeed. I'll be back. Take care.